Start. Okay, Bill? Okay, okay. This is we're going to start the meeting. This is the Finance Committee sub-hearing for the budget. And we want to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance or sit for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America. Hold on.
And to the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty and justice
liberty
for
and
all.
justice for all.
I had a brain fog there. Sorry. Thanks, Margaret. So, so who's we have enough people.
Do you want me to take the roll call?
Yes, please. A little rusty, Margaret. Thanks.
No problem. Anthony Dorsey, Tony Cinto,
Here.
Ann Sather, John Foreman,
Here.
Richard Wolf,
Here.
Kevin Shively, Mary Isaac,
Here.
and Nicole Satin.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. So I guess Maria, you're up. And let Maria tell us all her stuff, and then we'll I don't know, Maria, do you want to just stick to your department, or you want to take other questions? You just want to stick to, because you got many things. So which would you like to do?
Well, the first one you want to go over the tax assessor's office.
Okay.
So I could go through their budget, or you can ask me questions.
Yeah, do that first, and then we'll go with the questions after. Just an overview.
Okay. All right.
That'd be good.
So, their success has been that, they finally filled two of the part-time positions. They still have the tax assessor position vacant. It's been posted for quite some time. We have not had any applicants. And we continue to use consultants to assist us in the workload of the office, and also if there are any technical questions on various properties such as assisted living facilities, data centers, malls, etc. They review and process over 2,485 permits and had a more than 42 million gross value in the 2024 grand list. They will be conducting personal property audits. We put a RFP out. We ordered the two consultants, one to do these audits based on the audit fee, on a per audit fee. I think it's $625 per audit, and another one on a contingent fee to see how that works out. We used to do just on a per audit fee, but we felt that it might be advantageous to check the other plan. Salaries. Any questions on that? Do I go into the salaries and the dollars?
I don't have any questions. It's on the paper,
Okay.
but if you, I can ask a couple questions, and then I'll just have everybody else. I'll just go in order.
Okay.
My question is, Maria, and this might be a question, do you know what the actual, where are we at with getting a tax assessor? Or we're still having, finding one, or it's been advertised? Okay.
It's been advertised for quite some time. It's still posted on our website, and they posted it on the assessor's community website, and we haven't received any applications. So in the meantime, we are using consultants to assist us. But as far as I know, there were no applicants so far.
It's been a while, correct?
Yeah, well,
Right.
we hired someone, and then, she decided that it was not convenient for her to travel so far. And
Okay.
we actually approached other towns to see if we could share the tax assessor, and that did not work out. We know this is a challenge for every town in the state. Pretty much just take each other's tax assessors, and, they just go from one town to the other, unfortunately.
Okay. My second question is, now, do you want to do I have questions on the grand list, or you want to wait to a different part of the conversation for that and just stick to your?
The grand list is part of revenues.
Okay, so we'll wait on that then.
Are there specific questions that?
Well, I got you were nice enough to send the grand list growth page. I just want to make sure I got it right. Now, the grand list technically hasn't really grown at all, say in the last, since 2009 till now. I mean, it's been up, it's been down, but it's pretty much been flat straight across, correct?
Well, it has grown like about 2%, except we had some large settlements.
Mhm.
You know, like this in 24, we had the mall, the Mara Boulevard, which is, you know, it was an extensive settlement as well. So that took away from the growth.
So to make that up is going to be pretty hard.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm done for now. If Rich wants to go, or Nikki, or Mary.
I
or
only
John
had one
Clark,
question, but
wants to go.
Vicky
Go
had her
ahead.
hand up first, so I'd love to hear from her.
Vicky? Oh, okay. I see her. I got you.
Ladies
I see
first.
her hand. All right. I didn't see Vicky up there in the corner.
Yeah, that's quite all right. That's quite all right. So thanks, Rich. I mean, you can go. I'm just wanted to make a comment about the grand list, and Rena might want to opine as well. There is this is a summary sheet. It really doesn't show for this last year, especially what happened with the growth of our grand list, because actually we had a pretty substantial growth in our grand list. It was almost 1%. And that is substantial. So what really, you know, caused the decrease in the value there, and number one is the motor vehicles valuation, and also the tax appeals that Maria just alluded to. So it's kind of you know, doesn't really show the full picture here. We can provide you with some more information on the grand list to show the actual growth, because there was growth. So we don't want
Okay.
people to think that our grand list isn't growing.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks, Vicky.
I just
Thank
want
you.
people to know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's just, this is just a summary, so I was just going by what.
Yeah, exactly. But we can provide more information, Tony, so you can actually see the growth and then what happened because of the tax appeals, which, you know, we've been, as you probably know, we have been, you know, in litigation and discussion on these tax appeals, these major
Right.
tax appeals for years.
No, I know. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good.
Okay,
Go ahead,
thanks.
Rich. Go ahead, Richard. Rich.
Maria, I wanted your opinion on the tax assessor. Are we, when we're offering it, are we being competitive enough from a salary standpoint?
The HR director is probably a better person to address that. We thought we were being competitive with other towns. It's being advertised between 100 and 125,000 right now.
Okay.
But I
Just
think,
curious.
yeah, I think Tom will be on, I think, tomorrow or Thursday, and he can address that better.
Okay. And I see Vicky's hand up again.
So just to follow up, yeah, Tom will be here tomorrow so he can address that issue. And you know, we did talk about it. Just, you know, Maria, you know, gave you a pretty quick overview of what we've been dealing with for the last few years with trying to find tax assessors. Very, very difficult. Many towns don't have tax assessors, and it's competitive. And you know, the state only offers the exam for tax assessors once a year, which obviously is not enough. And but we've gone out, and we're going to go out again, and Tom will be able to talk about that tomorrow night to give you some more information.
Okay. Just curious.
Yep.
I love stealing stuff from Monroe. That's why I'm asking if we're, you know, to be
Well,
competitive.
Well, we
Did anybody-
can't really talk about that here. We could talk about that.
Vicky, I got to follow up on that. That what Rich was saying was, if the state knows everybody has a problem getting a tax assessor, why don't they offer this test more than once a year?
Yeah,
That's
good
very
It's a
good
question.
logical
Tony.
question, right?
We've
Very
been
good
asking
question.
that, Tony.
Yeah,
Has
very good
anybody?
question.
I'm sure somebody's asked that already.
Yes, we have. It's a
And
very,
Tony,
it's a very difficult test. It's not, you know, and there's several parts of it that you have to pass in order to become accredited. So it isn't just like you can, you know, study for, you know, a week or so and take the test and pass. It's a process. So, and it's a difficult one.
yeah, it requires a CCMA 1 and 2, and they only take one once a year in October. There is no other offering during the year.
Does Nikki or Mary Isaac have any questions?
Good, thank you, Tony.
No problem.
Yep, all good, thank you.
Oh, you all good? What about Mary?
That was me, sorry. Yeah, all good. Yeah, I got this answered the sub meeting's all set.
Okay. All right, so I guess we can move on to the next person on the list. Who's the next person, Margaret?
Building official, that would be Bob Dunn.
Is that the
We're
guy
on
with the,
page 8 of the spreadsheet.
the guy with the shoulder thing?
Yeah.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, how are you?
And then we're
Um,
on page 217 in the big book.
Okay. And what about the spreadsheet?
Spreadsheet is on page 8.
8, okay. The Board of Finance didn't change anything. And you said 219? Margaret was 219 in the big book?
217.
217? Okay.
We're basically on pace to meet all our goals. We're right about where we should be as far as permits and inspections. We actually have a lot more permits this year. There's a lot of smaller permits that with our permitting software don't fall through the cracks. The permit fees are, like I said, they're right on pace to meet our projections, and we were able to hire a replacement for one of the inspectors that we lost. Was monumental because there's no inspectors out there. A lot of the older guys retired during COVID, and it's just as bad getting an assessor as it is getting a building official.
Okay, so this is anything that's, I'm sorry, Mr. Dunn, if you're sure if you were done or not.
I'm sorry?
I cut you off. I'm not sure if you were done.
Oh, no, I'm set.
Oh, okay. Now this is, anybody who gets a permit for anything, a deck or anything like that, they would come to you guys.
Correct.
Okay, so are you showing an uptick in people fixing up their houses, fixing up their stuff?
We are.
buildings and stuff?
There's a lot of smaller permits than there are the big permits, like the apartments. They're all finished. Yale is doing some endoscopy work there, which thankfully that money's coming in, and they're about to start a second phase of that. So
Is that
that-
the building, is that the medical building on 111 down there?
5520 Park.
5520, okay, that's, okay. Now, what about that new building they're building down by, on 111? That they started? By,
Oh, the medical
rest-
building.
yeah,
Yeah, they've got a foundation permit. And once we get a complete set of plans, we can review those, and then we'll start issuing the permits for that.
Okay, so you have those projections in here for next year?
I do not.
Okay. So you expect to get a lot more from that also?
Hopefully. Like I say, it's something that we have absolutely no control over. I mean, we're
Yeah, I
lucky
know. Yeah.
getting the stuff in Park Avenue now, and a couple of years ago, the Amazon warehouse was a surprise to us, and that was awesome. So
Okay, so your projections for next year are on pace what you think they may be?
I believe so.
Okay. Because you guys are the revenue generating department,
Correct.
okay. And you have enough people?
We do. Like I said, we had a vacancy. One of my inspectors moved down to Virginia, and it was a struggle to find somebody. And the inspector we wound up hiring is a local Trumbull guy. So I'm really happy about that.
Okay, super. Okay. Well, I'm all done. If Richard or anyone else has any questions to ask Mr. Dunn.
I'm all set.
I'm set, thank you.
John? Okay. Anybody else?
I'm all set, thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Mr. Dunn. Because the
You're welcome.
finance-
Thank you very
Board
much.
of Finance didn't change anything on your sheet, so you're all set.
So it's always a good thing.
Thanks.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Margaret?
Yes, our next is the tax collector, which is Donna Pelletieri.
Okay,
And you can find her on page 2 and 3 of the
Okay.
spreadsheet and page 69 of the binder.
Can everyone hear me?
yes.
Oh, good.
Whenever you're ready, just give us like overview.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was just waiting to see, make sure everybody had anything. Well, the majority of my, first of all, I have to apologize for my phone. I can't find the mic button. But anyway, the majority of my budget is contractual. And this year, basically, it's the same as last year. The one difference is that we added a week to our seasonal help to help with the transition between and finishing up the tax collection year. And then we have to go into getting the WPCA bills out before August 1st. So there's a overlap there, and that would help tremendously with that. Other than that, everything is pretty much the same. Our collection rate for last year, fiscal year 24, was 99.1. This year, we're on track. We're not done with the April collection, but real estate is about 83%. Personal property is 97, and motor vehicle is about 93. Does anyone have any questions for me?
I have a couple. What's considered personal property? Like just one example.
Personal property is business equipment. People,
Okay.
like if, for example, a restaurant, would be their equipment, operating equipment.
Oh, okay, like a stove or a refrigerator, something like that in the restaurant.
Right. Whatever they use, ovens, if it's a bigger,
Oh, okay.
most of our personal property is, a lot of it is home-based, individuals, but the bigger companies have furniture and fixtures and things like that.
Well, you got a good collection rate. That's good.
Yes, that's
Now,
that's our main goal, to keep that up.
Now, are you guys having like with the car tax stuff going into next year with all the confusion? Is that it's like being carried over from last year, the same stuff? Because we just voted on like you got to keep it at a different rate. Is the rate going to change on that this year or going into July? I know last year's locked in, but starting July 1st when you send out the tax bills for the cars, like there's like that new calculation that they came up with that we went over.
Right. That the mill rate's going to stay the same, 32.46. That's state mandated. But the valuation is what's changing, and that's done through the assessor's office. This year, we're not going to change our billing. We're going to keep it July and then the supplemental bills in January. The state gave us the option of billing any car that's registered out like after October 1st through April. You could bill in July. But I see, my personal opinion, I see so many problems that could possibly happen. I just would like, we're going to keep it the same billing, July and January, for a whole cycle. And let's see, because I have a feeling things are going to arise that nobody has thought of yet. And we could always change in the future.
Okay. I have any other questions. Rich, you have any questions? Yeah, Rich.
Hi, Donna.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi.
Donna, out of curiosity, because I live right by the Amazon Center, I see a lot of license plates there that are not Connecticut plates. Any do we get any tax revenue from the Amazon vehicles at all?
We have some. That would be a good question for the assessor's office because they're charged with discovery. If you're seeing like a lot of out-of-state plates being parked all the time, that would be for that office to investigate.
Interesting. Okay, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Nikki or Mary or John?
I'm all good. Thank you.
Okay.
All set.
Okay.
All set.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Thank you very much, Donna.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Thank you too.
And thanks, Bill, for your help. Again, I apologize.
Okay, next on the schedule is Rena Baklar and Rob Lubrandi for planning and zoning.
Okay.
You can find them on pages 4 and 5 of the spreadsheet and page 133 of the binder.
Hi, Rita.
How are you?
Good. You want to just give us an overview?
Like, are we
Everyone?
starting on planning and zoning? I just want to be clear.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, so Rob Lubrandi is our land use planner. He's going to take the lead and then I'll tag team with him
Okay.
on the planning and zoning budget. But generally speaking, it really hasn't changed much. So Rob, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hello everyone. Rob Brandy here. I'm the department head for planning and zoning department. My supervisor is Rena Baklar as well too. Our goals and objectives have been progressing pretty quickly. We've been doing pretty well. We're getting close to finalizing our POCD. We've received a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of light complaints, but they've mostly all been either corrected or in the process of being corrected. We do receive some fines. We haven't received that many fines this past year because most of the issues that we have, they've been brought into compliance, which is our goal. We have a staff of 4 people in our department. One of our clerks is half ZBA, half economic development, which Rena and I share. If you guys have any questions, we handle all land use permitting process. Our planning and zoning commission handles special permits, zone changes, site plan modifications, text amendments, anything commercial related that needs structural changes goes through this department.
Okay, I just have a couple, maybe, I don't know if this is the right, I'll ask a question. If it's not the right place to answer the question, then we'll just move on. For example, there's been a lot of people talking about the corner of Unity and Booth Hill Road. This property of 50 houses on this whatever parcel is like 6 acres or something like that. I mean, how does this process work? Is the property for sale? Does some guy come to you guys, say, hey, you want to build over here? You know, how do we get a proposal for 50 houses on 6 acres of?
Rob,
So
Yeah,
it is
that's-
private yeah. So it is
Go ahead.
corner Booth Hill and Unity is private property. I believe the applicant did purchase parcels over time to combine the lot into a much larger parcel. What they're coming in for right now is a text amendment. So they're trying to change the regulations to allow the density to go up. Because as of right now, they could utilize the subdivision regulations for that zone, which is, I believe, I think it's a half acre or an acre per lot in that zone. So they have regulations that they could build houses there, but they're looking for something more dense to add more houses on the lot than what's allowed per the regulations. So right now they're coming in for a text amendment. That meeting is tomorrow. It is the commission to go and close that public hearing. So we did have some of the public there speaking for and against the application. So right now we're just waiting for the commission to vote on it.
so if I could expand on that a little bit, that was great, Rob. But Tony, they owned some of that property already historically, the family. And Rob's right, they assembled other. candidly, and I'm just going to speak from the economic and community development perspective, and some of you probably have heard the first selectman's comments, but I don't think it's a good project. I think it's a difficult corner. The topography is extremely difficult. There's a stream through there, there's wetlands. They're proposing something that is, in my mind, overbuilt, egregious, but they have a right to propose. We don't have to approve, but they have a right under the statutes and under the law to propose text amendments, to propose a project. So it's, as Rob said, it's moving its way through the land use process, and it'll continue to do that, but it's a very, very difficult area. And in my opinion, and I know that's not a good project.
Okay, yeah, I just think, that, they always, a lot of these people that come in always, and again, they hang the 830G over your head.
Yeah,
Yep.
And I know it's a tough situation to be in with something like that. You guys got your hands tied with that. So that's why I just brought it up, because I know a lot of people, because I don't, I drive by there all the time and I saw it, and somebody has signs out in
Oh,
front of
yeah.
their house. So that's why I brought it up, so you guys were here. So it just seems like that 830G hammer is always over the head of the town for all this stuff.
you
It's a
know,
difficult
it
situation
is.
to be in.
But I think, they can always threaten it, but I'm gonna just take a second to say, yes, there's a threat of an 830G there, but in order to do an 830G and for you to finance an 830G, you have to make the numbers work on any development project, right? So that particular parcel, if it were under an 830G, which you have to have some of the units at 60% of area median, some at 80 under the 830G statute, you would have to build so dense to make the project pencil. And I don't know if they can build that dense on that kind of a property. It's sloped. If anybody knows it, it's very difficult. So I'm not saying it's not a threat, but I think that I worry more about a parcel of land that's, flat, wide open, strong infrastructure around it, those kinds of things where you don't have a lot of obstructions to building dense, so they could propose dense. This piece of property is very quirky and very challenged. So yes, they can propose an 830G, and we would probably or at least I would take exception. Planning and zoning's got to act in the manner that they feel appropriate. But, so, to be continued, but you understand my point, I think.
Yeah, I do. It seems like the state puts a lot of pressure. You find a little postage stamp of land to put whatever they can put on it,
Yeah.
Yep.
That's,
Yeah,
Constant pressure.
right. So, okay, I'm all done. If anybody else has any questions, Rich?
No, I'm good, but Rena, thank you very much for the explanation, because people in the community have been talking about that.
Anytime you want to check in, just feel free to call us.
Okay, thank you. John, anything? Any
I'm all
questions
set,
for-
but thank you for the clarification on that property. I appreciate that.
Mary or Nikki?
All set.
Okay, thank
All
you.
set as well.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Margaret?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, no, I know you.
So the next schedule is economic development. That would be Rena
That's
Baclar.
Rena. Okay,
And we're on
Right.
page 5 on the spreadsheet and page 143 in the binder.
So did you want me to just touch on
Yeah.
something?
yeah, just give us like an overview update of what you guys are working on.
So as it relates to the budget request that's before you, there's not much that's changed. I think I've said before, I do have some consulting money if I need extra capacity. I don't use it unless I absolutely need it. But it is in there if I do need it for us to take advantage of opportunities to bring grants in, et cetera. The rest of the budget is pretty much flat. It is me and half of Gia Mantillo's time. That is my staff. And most folks know we have an Economic and Community Development Commission that's very supportive of our work. In terms of development and my work, I mean, business attraction, business retention, business counseling to help grow businesses, attraction of new private development, guiding and facilitating private development through a process, grants, policy work, public relations falls under our efforts. That's kind of what I do and where I work. We have major focus on the mall. You know that we have completed our study. Now we're in the process of taking that study to the market. And I can say without giving you a whole list of people, but people are finding me just from news articles. Whether it be people interested in potentially purchasing the mall in the future, whether it be people that are interested in the hotel aspect potentially, a major national warehouse retailer, whatever. We're hearing a lot of buzz. We have some challenges with that. We have to get through the ownership issues that are being played out right now. And I can talk about that in other forums, and many of you probably heard my talk when we introduced the study, and it's too long to discuss. But if anybody wants to talk more about that, you can certainly get in touch with me. I'm happy to share information. What the positives are, we have a great opportunity there. It's not going to happen overnight. Because some things have to play out as it relates to that property. But what we're trying to do is stack up the opportunities. Okay, so I'm bullish on the future. In the short run, there's some frustrations, but we have to keep, laying the groundwork for a transformation of the area. And that transformation will go from a big parking lot and some residential around it and some buildings in the center of it to a district, a mixed-use type of mall district that has appeal and attraction for decades to come. So I believe that's an achievable vision. Is it Richard Branson who says, be strict and tough on the vision, stick with the vision, be flexible on the details. And I think that's kind of our approach. And I think that the kind of outreach that's come to me just almost as a result of releasing the study and getting some press is very encouraging for the future. Trumbull Center is both a challenge and an opportunity. There are some issues there at the moment, but there is going to be some movement there, some transformation. I think it's going to be hard to reoccupy some of the space while construction's underway, but we do have a few new tenants in that area that are succeeding. And hopefully the asbestos remediation gets taken care of. We don't oversee that. DEEP and Department of Public Health at the state have full control of that. And they're on top of it. And you saw the first selectman right up on that. But once that's cleared, we can proceed with work that they envision down there. We have the One Trefoil Drive development that's fully approved. It's under appeal. They filed a wetlands appeal that the appeals on that could delay a year and a half that project. But that's a 36,000 square foot commercial development project that is totally approved. The Gateway Commons project on the Trumbull Monroe line, which is totally approved, is stalled, although there's something in the works to get it moving. What happened was some of the approved projects right now aren't penciling because of the interest rate environment, construction costs, that kind of thing. So those projects have to be, reworked, or they have to bring some additional capital into the project. So that's what they're working on. I work with all of these folks all of the time. And so I'm very optimistic on the future, but we have to get through some challenges with those projects. We have a lot of interest in senior housing over on Cambridge Drive. We expect an application to come in sometime between May and August, depending on if they have to go to wetlands or not, for senior housing development, 124 units on a surplus piece of property on 12 Cambridge Drive. We expect that project to come in and to move forward. It's a good project. They're going to retain the office building there. That office building was about 25% occupied. It's now about 80% occupied, and it's a performing building. So they're going to keep the building and build on the surplus land to the rear, which will clean up that whole cul-de-sac. You know, we're in the process of trying to get a significant corporation moved into our corporate park. Some of you may know, we've been meeting with our tax partnership committee regarding that project. If that deal goes forward, they will take 110,000 square foot office building that was mothballed in 2014 by Unilever, sold twice. Both owners tried to re-tenant it. It was not successful. It went into foreclosure. So we have a company we're trying to move from another town here. They are under contract at this point. I've been working on it for almost a year. So I expect to know in the next 2 or 3 months a move-in date. I'm optimistic. Anything can happen. I'm also working on a second corporate expansion. I'm not at liberty to say where or what company, but I think people will feel good about that expansion when it comes. There's lots of small things, big things, new things coming on to the degree that things are pretty solid or approved or in the works. I've mentioned them. I try not to get too involved in things that are not far enough along because, you know, until it's got some legs on it. You know, so I do a lot of meeting with people, bringing people here for tours, all of those kinds of things that no one sees, okay? You don't see it until it's hitting an application. And then someone like Bob Dunn doesn't see it until it's approved and it's hitting permits. You know what I mean? I mean, we talk about projects, but so there's a lot going on. We have our challenges, but I believe we have a lot of opportunities. With regard to some other smaller projects I'm going to work on this year, I'm going to work on raising the funds for the historic rehab of the Upper Long Hill School building, working with John Nair from Christian Heritage, Dimitri Paris, George Estrada, the Historical Society, Deb Silver. I'm probably missing somebody, but we have a great team of people. Brian Fitzgerald, our blight officer and zoning enforcement officer, was very helpful in the preservation effort and trying to get that coordinated, as was the landowner developer. So I think that's going to be a point of pride for our community. It's a small project, but I think it's a good community development project, and we're going to try to raise all that money through grants and contributions so that the town doesn't, you know, bear the burden of that restoration. We have pretty much finished raising the money for the most part for the Veteran Center, as you all know. I think that we got this morning, approval to go out to bid for the superstructure from the state. So they'll be getting that project out to bid. That's been a great team of people working on it, and I think that will be another great project and point of pride for the community. There's all kinds of events that we host. May 20th, we're hosting a business resource event for businesses in our community with the Small Business Administration. We have all kinds of free resources to support our businesses. That'll be at the library. On Monday, the 28th, we're hosting at Make-A-Wish in the corporate park. We're hosting the Fairfield County Broker Network, and David Corris, who's the executive director of the Connecticut Redevelopment Authority, appointed last summer by Governor Lamont. He'll be our speaker. And we're always, you know, we have programming that we do periodically through the year for the business community. We identify what the business community is asking us for, what we think they'll be interested in, topics that are relevant to the day, and we try to bring those resources to bear. I do a lot of individual technical assistance with businesses to help them strengthen their business plan, to help them think through some of their challenges. We also refer to free resources in, you know, to help them as well. That gives you a flavor. I mean, I think most people here encounter me and understand kind of some of the projects that I'm working on, but I'm happy to take any questions.
I just have one. The town center is kind of like transition mode. Is that the best way to put it?
That's well, it
Is
needs
that
to
the-
be,
it-
needs
'cause
to
it-
be in transition mode. It's approaching
Yeah.
transition mode. It's
Yeah,
approaching transition.
yeah. What was always on the old supermarket that was there? What was
Yeah.
the feedback from, say, whatever, somebody renting that out to put a supermarket or something there?
So,
At one
yeah,
time, why, was it the parking lot or was this?
it's a
what
lot
was
of
it that-
different things. And our first selectman's been on site with me we brought ShopRite down there together. We took them to lunch. We brought them down there, so different people have said different things. But initially, one of the main things was that it was blocked from the view of the street. That's huge. The real estate specifications oftentimes require street frontage. Some other people want to own their real estate, and this real estate's not for sale, it's only for lease. So that can be a barrier at times. The loading dock situation is not optimal there for a modern grocer, a sizable modern grocer, I should say. So there's some challenges in the real estate specifications as it relates to that. The store obviously doesn't have that corridor. The traffic counts are okay, but they're not phenomenal. Okay, they're our highest traffic counts, just so you know, are by the mall, of course, like because you have the Merritt Parkway right and Main Street there, and over by where 25 111, that corridor, that intersect, those are our highest traffic counts in town. Holly Lane area is followed closely behind that. So this area is, it does have some decent traffic counts. We do have some nationals there, but it's not busting down the doors, so to speak. It's not like the Bridgeport Avenue corridor where you have a parallel Route 8 with massive traffic counts and you have a heavy commercial corridor. So those are challenges. There's some other challenges I'm not going to get into here, but there's some other challenges.
Thank you. Mine was my question. Rich, you have any questions?
I did, but Rena was extremely thorough. And I just want to say I love the northern Main Street area where Old Marissa's was. I mean, I can't believe the life that's in that area, and hopefully that's the future of the White Plains area as well. Great job. Keep it up.
So thank you.
John, any questions?
I'm all set. Thank you.
Mary?
Nope, all set, thank.
Okay, and Nikki, she's still here?
Yeah, I
She
just
go-
want to
oh,
say
there she
thank you
goes.
to
Oh,
Rena. Here I
okay.
am.
I see you.
Just a big shout out to Rena. Just listening to you exhausted me. I don't know, you're tireless like the Energizer Bunny. So thank you so much to you and your team. It shows. We appreciate it.
Thank you. We have good people. I want to recognize my halftime assistant, Gia. She's really wants to learn, and she's been very ambitious and a big support to me, as is Rob, that you all know, and Brian's been a great addition to our office, and Linda, we have a good team up there, and I work, as you know, I have a supervisory role over Bob Dunn and his team and over Megan and her team, and everybody's great.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Anybody else got any questions? No? Okay, thank you,
Horror
Rena.
stories from other places, so thank you.
Okay, thank you. Margaret, is that the last, is Rena the
No,
last person? No,
we
one
have
more?
one more person, Maria Pires for the finance
Oh.
department.
She's back?
She is back. She never left.
Okay,
And you can find the finance department on the spreadsheet on page 2
new,
and 43 in the binder.
okay. Okay, Maria, this is just your direct department, right?
This is my direct
I know
department.
you have other people, but this is your folks.
This is my main department. Yeah, I also oversee purchasing, tax assessor, and tax collector.
Okay,
So what can I tell you with finance? We're always in the audit mode. Right now, we're auditing Trumbull High School audit that's with the state. It's a project that's been done quite a few years back, and the state decided to come now to audit the project. So we're working on that right now. We continue to monitor the ARPA funding and the uses of it. There's a lot of filing that we do quarterly to make sure that we make sure we're going to use all the funding. And in December, we had to make sure that we encumber all the monies, otherwise it could potentially be lost. And we did that. We implemented a new timekeeping system, UKG, which has been working really well. Let's see. Budgets, we always deal with budgets and everything else. Any software with Munis upgrades and so forth, we handle that. Continue to monitor and report on various audits of the state, various state reporting due to grants. As you know, Rena applied for quite a few grants, and all those grants require filings, financial filings every quarter or monthly. What else can I tell you? On my positions, as you know, we've been short-staffed since August of last year. My assistant retired, and then we had to fill the position. That took a long time. That was a long process. And then we had offered a position to someone. They declined. After accepting, they declined. And so my accounting manager applied for the second time, and she got after the process went through the application process, the testing, and she was selected, and that opened up that position. So just now, we finally filled a position for the accounting manager 3 weeks ago, and she's doing great. And the payroll clerk is being filled soon. We're offering the position to someone we interview. Hopefully she accepts. And the next position is the staff accountant, which I believe all the applicants were received. We just have to do the testing and interview. So hopefully by then we'll be fully staffed. I'm hoping by the end of June we'll be fully staffed.
You're actually getting applications?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it is good. Took us a while, but it is good. And we do have a new position that we added to the budget. It was actually added last year, a grant administrator. That's to support both Rena's office and my office with filing various reports with the state and federal government. Right now, I have a part-timer to help me with that, but we like to have one staff person that assists both departments, and it is in the budget.
Are you done with the COVID paperwork? Are you still
No,
ongoing?
No, it's still going.
Yeah.
We file quarterly reports. As a matter of fact, there's one due at the end of April, which we're in the process of filling out. And
You had to hire didn't we get somebody to help you with that, like an outside person?
no,
I forget.
no, I
No,
put it in the budget, but you guys denied it, so no, I didn't have someone to help us with that.
Okay. 'Cause
I actually have the internal auditor helping us right now.
Oh, okay, because you have like 5 vacancies on here.
I have what?
I'm looking at on here, you have 5 vacancies. 1,
Yeah,
2, 3.
yeah, well,
I'm not
we
counting the new
feel,
person. Now you had to get a new payroll person because you got a new system, or is that just
well,
coincidence?
we had a position there. She had a third child and she couldn't come back. It was,
Okay,
she decided to stay home. So we advertised it again. We filled the position. She stayed for maybe 4 months, and she had some personal situation that she had to take care of and couldn't stay with us. And now we're in the process of filling that position right now.
okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Rich? You have any?
No, I'm good, Maria. Thank you.
John?
All set, thank you.
Nikki?
No, but we appreciate you too, Maria. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Mary?
Yep, all set, thank you.
Okay. Well, thanks, Maria. You're doing a lot with not a lot of people.
You have great staff. Everybody's willing to pitch in. I have 2 staff people that are still working, so yeah,
Okay. All right, thanks very much.
thank you.
Yep. Margaret, are we all, that's the last person? Maria's the last
Yeah.
person?
That
Okay.
was last on the schedule. We're all set.
Okay. Well, I guess motion to close the meeting.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Until tomorrow.
Take care.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you,
Thanks-
everybody.
thanks-